Hi, I'm James at Bespoke Airsoft and welcome back to another video, and in this one we're looking at a brand new training aid from Torc Precision.
It's all about humanity.
So some of you may be thinking, what is a training aid? Now these are referred to by many different names: training aid, distraction devices, blank firing grenades. You're probably more commonly more familiar with the TRMR series. They've been on the market for a while now. This is a new product from Torc Precision. This is the SFDI, which stands for Sound Flash Distraction Impact, and you can see this thing is looking way cooler than things that are available on the market already. But we'll get straight into the nitty-gritty details of this thing and we'll show you exactly what this thing's all about. So this is the SFDI from Torc Precision. Torc Precision currently design distraction devices for the US law enforcement market. This is something built from the ground up for a sole purpose of being for law enforcement in the US. They wanted a training aid with various features, which I'm going to go through with you in just a moment. So here are a couple of devices that are used currently in law enforcement around the world. And one of the major issues with these devices, even though how good they are, is that you've got like this one here, you've got a 1 second fuse. So when you're deploying this into a certain area, you've got 1 second before that device starts to work. So if you're perhaps wanting to deploy this device a little bit further away, with that 1 second fuse, it's going to go off before it gets to its intended area of use. With the SFDI, it's an impact device, so as soon as it hits a hard surface or object, it's going to go off, so they can get a lot more distance with these. They can deploy exactly where they need to, where you've got sort of restrictions with this on how far it could be thrown, because you've got that 1 second fuse if that's all you've got sort of loaded on you at the time. So the other thing with these law enforcement agencies are the safeties around these things. So this is the safest, fastest deployable device on the market. They had many other requirements over in the US for this device, as well as it being an impact. It had to be safe, and they wanted a more conventional spoon style design here, as well as a ring pull where you could get one gloved or two gloved fingers in there to get a nice solid pull on the ring. As you'll see on the more conventional grenades, this is an eco, and the ring pull on that is obviously very small. When you've got thick gloves, you might struggle to get your fingers in there. You've got 5 methods of safety on this device. You've got the ring pull, which is situated on top of the spoon, which sits in place, that's 1. You've got the pin on top of the device as well, which holds the spoon in place, that's 2. You've got the physicality of the spoon being in the palm of your hand, which is holding it in place, as well as the spoon holding the top part of the device and having a pin set into the side of the device that holds the firing pin in place too. So this is the safest device, or one of the safest devices on the market, and it's also the fastest deployable, which we'll get to in just a moment. Now, Torc Precision have also been working with ACS. ACS make trigger pouches for devices such as the Nico that you see here. So they do a whole range of pouches or holsters, whatever you want to call them, and this is where the SFDI comes into its own here, because you can get the device set into this cradle here, and you can set it up in a way so that as you grab the device and release the paddle and the device comes out of the holder, as you pull it away or pull the pin from the top of the device, and then you're ready to deploy straight away. You've also got the added safeties of the device having the spoon sat with the top part of the device. So when you're ready to go and you've got the SFDI in the hand and you're ready to deploy it into a room, there's no way that you can hit this off a door frame, a window frame, hard object, anything, the rifle that you're carrying, anything like that, and to tap this thing from going off. One of the things we did see with the TRMR device is that once they were sort of set to fire and they were ready to go, you've got the twister arm that's ready to go, ready to deploy it. If you for some reason hit it off a door frame, window frame while it's in your hand, the device can still go off. So once you've done that twister arm to throw the TRMR, it's good to go, and any knock or impact that it's going to have while it's in your hand is still going to set the device off. This is where the SFDI overtakes the TRMR in my opinion, because you've still got that added spoon safety. So you could hit this with a hammer, you could probably hammer a nail into a really thick piece of wood, and this is never going to set off the charge that's in the device itself. So I've got a couple of the devices set up in the ACS trigger pouch here, and you'll see how nice and neat they are. If the device doesn't sell itself already when it's released, the fact that it's got a trigger pouch ready to go on the market that it fits into is going to just give it that extra boost. So as well as all the built-in safeties that you have to the SFDI, you've also got built-in safeties to the trigger pouch itself as well. You've got the toggle safety down here, push that down, and then it's ready to pull from the trigger pouch itself. And then what you'll do is you'll go grab the two paddles on the side, push that down, it releases the top lever, you pull the device out, pin's been pulled, then you've got your device ready to deploy, and as you'll throw it, the spoon will fly off, it'll impact a hard surface and then disperse your charge or whichever you are using. So once you've thrown the SFDI, you can obviously put your preferred charge back into the device itself, push it back in. You'll obviously want to be putting the safety pin in here while you're doing so, that speaks for itself. But if you're putting it back into the trigger pouch, you'll obviously have the safety pin here itself. We're just going to push that back into the SFDI like so. We're going to push that over the pin, and then we're just going to make sure this is set in place. Make sure it's clipped down, engage the safety, and we're good to go again. So there's a quick demonstration for you on how this thing is deployed. This thing is built out of the most high quality materials out there. You've got stainless steel top and bottom, 6082 aluminium for the main body. This thing is built to the best standards available. So this, when I say, is the safest, fastest deployable device on the market. It's not a sort of weak statement at all. The guys at Torc Precision invited me up here to their headquarters in Scotland just to see this thing and show it you. So when this video goes out, the device might be available on the market or might not. Just you'll have to bear with us on that because we don't know when the video is going to go out. So when the TRMR was introduced into the US, it was at a disadvantage obviously because it didn't have the spoon where the SFDI does. I think this is a great new feature because not only does this make it more realistic in terms of the way it operates, and that's what a lot of us players, especially the Milsim guys and the weekend events CQB guys want. There's nothing really. You've got a nice purchase on the ring pull there because you can get two fingers in there solid or one finger with some gloves on. You've got loads of adjustability there. The spoon itself comes off. Now these are really cheap and affordable because they've made them in the right way. They're also going to have multiple colours available. The main reason behind this, because when they're deploying these in the States, they have different charges that they want to disperse, and they could be running like sort of Thunderball sort of style charges. You could be using training charges, other bits and pieces, and they wanted the colours there to signify on the device of exactly what is set inside the device itself. So these of course will be available to the UK market as well, so we'll have all different colours coming very, very soon, as well as the devices themselves. We'll have the trigger pouches available too as well. Black, blue, yellow, orange, possibilities are absolutely endless with these, and like I say, they're really affordable as well as a replacement part. So if you do manage to lose one at a Milsim event or something, or someone's picked it up by accident, you've got plenty available, and getting spares is not a problem at all. So huge thanks to the guys at Torc Precision for inviting me up here to see this ahead of time. This device is coming to us at Bespoke and selected retailers very, very soon, so be sure to keep an eye on the page and such for updates, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.